Hi guys, I'm Missy, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I'm still kind of recuperating from my RFA, so if I sound kind of tired, that's because I've been having a rough time trying to sleep after having it done, because it increases my pain before it can kick in and get better. But I'm trying to distract myself and still trying to, hopefully get up some content in the meantime. But I've been needing to work on my declutters, so I thought today I would work on my foundation declutters, since I have way more than I need to. I really would like to narrow this down, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm just gonna start diving right in, and I'm just gonna kind of pull out different foundations. So this is new to me. This is from the brand Colored Rain. They went out of business, and they marked like everything down on their website to $2.50. So I picked this up, and I actually really like it. It's actually a decent little foundation stick. I got the shade 200 Warm. Again, they went out of business, so you can't get any of this anymore, but I like foundation sticks for like a quick, easy, everyday, and I've used it a couple times so far. You don't get a whole lot in there, but it works for the purpose I need it to, and it has great coverage. So I will be keeping this. Same for my other two foundation sticks, which are from Colourpop. It's their No Filter foundation stick. I have two of them. They're both in the shade Light 67 In. So I will be keeping both of these as well. Next, we have the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation in the shade Medium 85 In. I like this foundation. I do have to make sure that I set it pretty well, though, because it is not super oily combo friendly. It definitely needs a little assistance with that. I mean, it's more of a hydrating foundation, so I think if you have dry skin, this is probably a better option versus an oily skin person, but I do enjoy it, so I will be keeping it as well. We have this one. This is new to me as well. This is the Physicians Formula Diamond Perfector in the shade Light to Medium. I did not like this. This is more of a BB cream, so it doesn't really have any coverage, but I will say when I used it, I felt like it emphasized like all my texture, all my fine lines. It did have a nice bit of a glow to it, but if I'm going to reach for a BB cream or CC cream, anything like that, I would definitely go with like my green color corrector one that I have, that I use more as like a primary base. So this is definitely getting decluttered. I did not like this. Next we have the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating CC Cream. So I bought the original e.l.f. CC cream, and I did not like it. I tried all the little tricks they said to do with, using very little, mix it with a moisturizer, and, it just so full coverage that it just emphasizes everything, my texture and fine lines and all that, and I didn't like it. So I thought I would try this one, which is hydrating, and I have the same problem, so yeah, I'm gonna declutter this as well. I had the shade Light 280 In. Is a decent shade match, but yeah, same problem. So this is definitely not a line that I want to continue to buy foundation from. This CC Camo one. So Declutter. Next we have my Revlon. This is the Skin Caring Foundation. This is the Illuminance one. I have the shade 201 Creamy Natural. You guys know I like to have a glowy finish, and this definitely gives you that. I really like this foundation, but again, it is one that I do have to make sure that I set down pretty well for my oily combo skin, but I do like the way that it looks, so I am keeping. Also, I have another Revlon. This is the Revlon Colorstay Longwear. This one is for combination skin, combination oily skin. I have the shade 180 Sand Beige. Really like this. As you can tell, I've used a lot more of this. I found out about this foundation from watching Allie Dawson here on YouTube, and she has super oily skin, and she also lives in Florida and has the same climate as me. So when I saw her rave reviews about this, about long lasting for her oily skin, I definitely picked it up, and I agree. It does really well, especially in the Florida heat. It lasts me all day. So definitely keeping. Next, we have this L'Oreal True Match Nude in the shade 2-3 Light Pale. This is like a serum foundation with a dropper. I don't really care for the dropper in this one. And it's not as much coverage as I would like. I know it's supposed to be a light, like a super light coverage, which is just too much of a light coverage for me. And normally I have to pair it with this next one I'll show you here in a minute to get the coverage I want. And I'm trying to get out of having to use more than one foundation at a time just to kind of make what I need. So I'm definitely going to declutter this one. I'll probably be passing this on maybe to my mom or my sister. They may like it better than me, but I'm definitely decluttering. So then I have this one. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect 4-in-1 Tinted Balm in the shade 10 Light. I like this one. As you can see, I've made a decent little dent down in there with this one, pairing it with that. This also has a somewhat light coverage, but it can definitely easily be built to a medium coverage or more. And so I am going to keep this one because when I finish all of my stick foundations, I want to move these type of foundations into my like everyday quick and easy makeup to go through. So I'm going to keep this one as well. Same thing with this. This is the CoverGirl Plus Olay Simply Ageless Broad Spectrum SPF 28. I learned about this through Robert Welsh's video, and he raved about it. You guys can see. I've definitely been using this one. It is starting to get to the point where it's cracking up and stuff on me. So I'll see if I can get any more out of this. If not, it will definitely be going in the garbage. But I do like the coverage of this. I will say I do prefer more liquid foundations than I do these like cream foundations. It's just easier to work with for me. But like I said, I'm keeping that one. Then we have the Essence Soft Touch Mousse one in 01 Matte Sand. So this is more matte finish. I'm on the fence with this one right now, so I'm going to put this in the maybe pile for the moment. All right. So then moving on, we have the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Niacinamide Skin Tint with 5% niacinamide. I will say that I do wish they would stop mixing skincare in all of the makeup now. Just that's a personal preference. That being said, this is my favorite skin tint that I own. It's actually more of a coverage of a foundation, and I think that's why I like it more, because it gives me coverage, but it also gives me a very luminous finish, and I love that. So I'm definitely keeping this. I'm not sure if I told you guys the shade is, I got light medium. So definitely keeping. All right. Moving on, I have this L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation with sunscreen. It has SPF 50. I bought this on a whim in the clearance section at my Walmart, and this was the only lightest shade they had, which is Ivory 10. I can make it work for myself if I like really, really bronze up my face, but it is too light for me, so I am going to declutter it. Next, we have the Tier Cushion Foundation. I got the, forget the shade name. I think it was like 22. I'll try to find the shade and pop it up on the screen. But it was the darkest shade at the time. When I first used this, like I will say, I do not like using it with the puff that comes with it. I prefer more of a brush. Right now, it's my only technical cushion foundation. That being said, I'm going to put it in the maybe pile for the moment. Okay, so next we have the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfection Essence in the shade 30 Light Medium. This is a very strange foundation, and it is very light coverage. See, when you squirt this out, it's very liquidy, and then you like burst these little pigment beads, and I'm just not a huge fan of that, and it's just not enough coverage for me, so I'm going to declutter this one as well. I hate that I spent, because this was not a cheap foundation. Like drugstore makeup is getting a lot more expensive than it used to be, so I'm not happy that I spent the amount I spent on this and was not really what I wanted, so I am going to declutter. All right, so let's move on to this LA Girl Tinted Foundation. This is medium beige. This is an okay tinted foundation. It definitely is buildable with a natural finish like it says. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile for now and come back and revisit it. Alright, so next we have the NYX Bear With Me Blur in the shade Vanilla. And I did not like this. This looked very yellow on me, and I just did not like how it looked on my skin. It just... Again, I have a thing, if it like really emphasizes my texture or my fine lines, I don't like it. So I'm going to declutter this one. Next I have this one. This is a cushion foundation that I like made myself with a mix of different foundations I wanted to use up. That being said, I never reach for it. So I'm trying to get it open. I can't remember how to open it. Oh, there we go. That being said, I just never reach for it. So I am going to just empty this compact out, clean it up, and see if I want to do anything with it or just pass it along. So I am decluttering. Alright, let's go with this one here. So we have I have two shades of this, the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. I did a wear test with this, with, I believe it was this shade. Yeah, 24 Light Warm. This is the shade I picked for myself. It was too light for me, the shade was. So I asked e.l.f. what my shade match would be equivalent on Instagram to this, which you guys know I've talked about several times, is my Holy Grail foundation. This is their Flawless Satin foundation. Love this, and I'm in the shade 300 Sand. So I asked them what the equivalent would be, and they told me this shade, which is 34 Medium Cool, right? This is too dark. So this is too light, this is too dark. And I tried mix them together, and I've told you guys before, I don't want to have to put extra work into my foundations. I want to just be able to grab it, you know, put it on my brush, put it on my face, whatever, and blend, and not have to sit there and mix and mix and mix. So unfortunately, unless I can actually find a better shade match, maybe in between these, I'm going to be decluttering these. It's a very good foundation, in my opinion. I know there was a lot of division. You either loved or you hated this foundation. I loved the look of it as far as coverage wise, and it did hold up during the summer. To me actually having to sit outside on the patio at a restaurant, and it was like 90 some degrees that day, and it held up very well to the Florida humidity. And it looked beautiful at the end of the day. So I am kind of sad if I do not find a shade match in this, because I do like the coverage and how it looks. It's just the color itself is an issue for me. So I'm going to declutter both of these. And that being said, you guys already know this one right here is my Holy Grail with e.l.f. their Flawless Satin Foundation in 300 Sand. So definitely keeping this one. So next we have the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation, I believe it was called. I got this in my Ipsy Icon box. I got the shade 4 Neutral, and this is actually a really good shade match for me, and I loved how this looked on my skin, so I am definitely keeping this. Alright, so I just went ahead and kind of threw my declutters over here in that pile, and this is my maybe pile right now, but this is what I have left to go through. Before I continue, I do want to say, please do not ask me for any makeup. I do not feel comfortable giving makeup out that has been used to my subscribers. My friends and my family members get first dibs on anything I declutter, and then if I can, I donate things. If not, then, you know, it gets passed along to someone else. So please do not ask. All right, so let's continue. So I have this foundation. This is the Manic Panic Dream Tone Vegan Flawless Foundation in, I believe it's, yeah, this is the shade Virgin, the whitest white. I only use this at Halloween time when I want like a very, very pale complexion or white complexion for Halloween looks, but I have revived it a couple times, but it's gotten to the point now where it's just kind of chunky, so I'm just going to declutter this one. If you guys know any good replacements for this, let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so next I have the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. This is the shade 30 Sand Beige. I'm going to keep this because I haven't really, I think I used it once, so I'm not really sure how I feel about it yet. I am going to do a full face of Catrice Cosmetics, so I may try to use it again in that video. We'll see, because I've got other things I want to use too. But so yeah, right now I'm going to keep this so I can try it out some more. Okay, so next we have the CoverGirl Simply Ageless. This is the liquid version of basically this. I wanted to try it out, and I do like the coverage of this. This is the shade Buff Beige, 225 Buff Beige. I do like the coverage of this, and yeah, so I'm going to keep it. I like the way it looks. Alright, so now we have my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in the shade 207 Sand Beige. This is definitely one I have to set down because it is a illuminating foundation. Same with my Revlon Illuminance one. I really like both of these when I want to have a glowy finish, but I do have to set with powder so that it is long lasting for me. So I'm definitely keeping. L'Oreal tends to have some of my favorite foundations, to be honest with you. So we have the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. So this is the shade Light 8N. This is a very, very light coverage. You can build it, but it's still pretty light coverage. But I do like to reach for this in the summertime when I don't want something super heavy on my face. So for that reason, I'm going to keep it for now. We have the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. This is the shade Light. This is definitely more coverage than the Colourpop one. But that being said, it still is lightweight. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile for now. I'll come back to it. Alright, so now we have the Colourpop No Filter Foundation. You guys can see I've barely used this. I keep forgetting it's in here because I have too much, honestly. So I do think I'm going to keep it and hopefully reach for it more. That's one reason I'm starting my series where the spin wheel picks my makeup, so that I can start incorporating these foundations and other makeup items that's just kind of sitting in my drawer and getting ignored because I reach for the same things over and over most of the time. So I do want to keep this and work it into my routine. So keeping. I'm not sure if I told you the shade, but it's Light 60. Okay, so I have two of these. This is the L'Oreal True Match in W3. The only reason I have two is because my sister bought one and it was too dark for her, so she gave it to me because it's the perfect shade for me. I do really like this foundation, and I'm glad that they made them into a pump form instead of a dropper, because I do prefer a pump over a dropper, with the exception of this one. This is the only one I've ever found that has a very consistent dropper. Alright, so keeping those two. Alright, so I'm down to my last two here, and then we'll revisit the maybe pile. So I have the L'Oreal Infallible 24 Hour. This is the shade 455. I don't remember the name, but this is my shade. Definitely keeping, one of my favorite foundations, so definitely keeping. And then last we have the Maybelline Dewy Plus Smooth. I did have the matte too, but I gave that to my sister. because like I said over and over, even though I'm oily combo, I do like a luminous finish, and this gives me that. I do have to be very careful with how much of this I apply because it is pretty full coverage for me. This is the shade 210 Sandy Beige. So definitely keeping this one. So I'm going to put my keeps in this basket for now. Alright, so let's go back here and revisit these. So that needs to go in there. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to declutter this one from LA Girl. And I think I'm going to keep this one, if not just for reference for now, just because it is one of those foundations that was highly talked about. And like I said, I like to use it with a brush instead of a puff. I do feel like it looks better that way. I do know they have like other formulas in this. I think they have like a dewy one. I think this is the full coverage one, the pink one. That might be the red one. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I'm gonna keep this one for reference purposes. The Soft Touch Mousse from Essence. I did like this one. I did like the coverage of it. I did like the way it looked. That being said, though, I'm going to declutter this one. All right, and then we have the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. You know, I only have one skin tint left in here that I kept, which is the Colourpop, and it's not as much coverage as this one. So I think I'm going to save this one from declutter as well this time. All right, so let me count how many I kept versus how many I decluttered. So I'm decluttering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm decluttering 12 foundations. All right, and I'm keeping 20, 21, 22. All right, so I definitely kept way more than I decluttered. Granted, some of these are doubles. I do hope that my new series, Spin Well Picks My Makeup, is going to help me try these items out some more and help me declutter this, you know, even further in my next declutter, because this is a lot. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today. I'm happy I decluttered 12 because, I mean, that's a decent amount of foundations for me to get rid of and declutter and pass along to, you know, a better home that they'll get used in. But yeah, I still have 22 foundations that I need to work through. So I hope you guys liked this video. Let me know, you know, are any of these foundations your holy grails, your favorites? Did you hate any of these? Do you have a similar skin texture? Things like that. Let me know in the comments down below. If you made it this far in the video, I'd appreciate it if you left a, let's leave a smiley face emoji. We need some happy news going on right now. Something makes us feel a little bit better with everything going on in the world at the moment. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for helping me reach my 250 subscriber goal. You know, my next goal is going to be 300 and then 350 until I get all the way to 500, which is my first like big goal. Obviously, you know, because I can start trying to monetize my channel at 500 subscribers. But I do appreciate you guys that consistently keep coming back and watching my content and interacting and commenting. I really appreciate it. And if you're new here and you like this type of content, you like declutters, you like makeup tutorials, you like makeup reviews, you like unboxings, and you want to stick around, I'd appreciate it if you would like and subscribe down below. All right, I'm going to end it here. I think I did a decent declutter, not as much as I wanted to, but it's still a decent amount I got rid of. Until next time, guys. Bye.